From fabulous Los Angeles, California, Hollywood, home of the stars, the magic factory where dreams come true, culture capital of the world, jewel of the Pacific, it's the Adam Carolla Show.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice but to get it on. Mandate, get it on. Welcome to the program. Dr. Spazz will be joining us with a little health watch tonight. Yes. Little Baldywood. What movie you got there?
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
$175 million or so
counting.
at the box office last weekend. Good day, Allison Rosen.
Hello, Adam Carolla.
Lita Ford's going to be joining us today as well. First, many things to complain about.
My fiancé, Daniel.
Quiet now. I'm going to complain. Had a nice... How much more, like, in terms of being annoyed / hurt, like, vulnerable, just generally vulnerable.
Okay.
What percentage, I feel like, for me, getting up in the morning, that's the time to attack me. If
Yes.
you're a neighboring village or just a neighbor and you think you want to plan an attack, don't do it at 10 p.m. I got a
No.
little buzz going. I'm stretched out and I'm ready to rock and roll. I'll fight you in my underpants. At 8:15, almost anything could make me cry. And I had this thing today, but also could make me just want to go into a fucking whirling dervish of roundhouse and crescent kicks into the face of life, into the
Right.
orbital socket of life.
Then would you do jumping jacks?
No,
Because
but
when I did cardio kickboxing, it was all crescent
no,
kicks,
this is about
roundhouse.
trying to hurt everyone around me
Not also staying in good shape.
and punch myself in the face as well. Well, no, you stay in good shape.
Right.
Stay in
But you're
better
just-
shape.
That's true.
I had to do a little press this morning because me and Drew are going to be at the Uptown Theater in Napa. And I've known for a long time this theater is clean, as they say. This show's going clean.
Does that mean sold out?
Yeah. Usually, when there's 50 tickets left a week and a half before the show, it's about done. You can tell it's about. Bruce, you're going to drive me insane. Make a bunch of noise with your fucking papers over there. Just don't touch them. Thank you. Now. Or you can pot his mic down.
You're not going to get to him anyway.
Just leave it down. You bring in a stack of papers. You don't get to the first one.
Worst nightmare is
Yes.
not having enough information to keep you satisfied and ranting.
You know where you can store your information?
I don't have enough room
In
there.
that legume that
Oh,
bounces
there.
around inside your skull.
I thought you were going to suggest back here because you already stuffed
No,
some things up
just
there.
Put it up there and
Okay.
regurgitate. Regurgitate, baby.
anything.
So I got up early this morning, at least for me, to do a little press, and I was calling the affiliate out in Napa, and I said I decided to check online, and I went to the theater, and there's no tickets left. You go to this loge section, the balcony, the orchestra, and they have like little black dots, and there's like two there's none. You hit certain sections, it just says sold out, and then it'll say single tickets available, no twin seats next to each other, that kind of stuff. And then this comes. So the guys go, we'll put you on the air in a few minutes. And I said, yeah, you want to plug the Napa show? I said, nah, well, it looks like that's sold out, but I think I'm doing a Mangria tasting out there, I think sometime Saturday, so probably want to plug that. Oh, when is that? I don't know, 6 o'clock, somewhere before the show Saturday. Oh, do you guys have that information? No, we didn't hear about that. Now I'm back to where I'm always at, which is why? I've said to Mike
Well, I
August,
would be
200.
saying who. Oh, August.
Who? Where? What? Where?
I mean, who was supposed to get the information?
I've said to Mike regarding the plugs here and or the radio stations or what have you, if something is sold out or going to be sold out, it is fucking moot to bring it up. It doesn't matter. It's plugging something that cannot. So, but there are other things that need plugging, such as the Mangria event, which is going to be California Shiners, by the way, which is in Napa. That's where they make the stuff. Fun time going over there. That'll be at 6 o'clock. But, of course, they don't have that information. They have the information on the thing that's basically sold out.
It
not
doesn't
the thing.
need the attention, yeah.
Right. So I said, look, it was a funny conversation, not funny, haha. So I said, well, listen, I want to get the plug out on this event. and he said, all right, well, let's talk about what you and Dr. Drew are going to do first on your live show, and then we'll get to this thing. And I said, there's no tickets for that, so it's we can hypothetically talk about what you would hear if you could go, but you can't really go because it's sold out, essentially sold out. But this other event you can go to, and the guy says, well, where is it and what time's it at? And then I say it's on the website. And then
because you said it erased it instantly.
They go and look, and it's not on the website. And I've had this conversation 386 times, which is if I'm going somewhere, I'm selling Mangria when I get there. So make sure that it's represented on the website. It's what you would do if you wanted someone to kill themselves. I've said it a million times. This is how you get someone to kill themselves.
How do you know they aren't trying?
Well, no, I think they are. I earnestly believe they're trying to get me to kill myself. And it's always this thing where it's like, it falls through the cracks, blah, blah. And I announce the world, listen, I'm doing the hard part. I'm the guy who's fucking packing up the trunk full of Mangria and driving to Merced and doing a one-nighter and driving home at 4 a.m. You make sure the website's good. That's the super easy part of this whole equation. Not going to happen. Then there's a lot of this kind of stuff, too, which I, again, never thought I'd encounter as an adult. We do these, like, Mangria tastings. We did one in, I don't know, Costa Mesa. I ordered a Mangria. I got something that had pieces of mint floating around into it, in it, and seltzer water. And
Mangrito.
A little bubble up and some, like, mashed up berries. And I said, what is this? I just ordered a regular Mangria. Well, that's what the bartender's doing. So I said to Jay, when we do the tastings, they have to just offer Mangria over the rocks as it should be poured. Don't let them do their own fucked up interpretation of what Mangria means to me. I'm not selling Mangaritas. I'm just selling Mangria, and then you can fuck around with it when you get home. But when someone comes to the bar and they order a Mangria, especially when the guy who invented Mangria orders a Mangria, I don't want fucking chicory. I don't want a slick of chicory floating around on the top of it and a sprig of mint. I don't want that. It's not what it is. What are they doing? So of course,
is it possible that he improved it in any way? Did you taste it?
Everything is better. I mean, listen. If you take, it was delightful. Had nothing to do with anything Mangria.
Oh, but if people liked it, wouldn't they be that much more incentivized to buy Mangria?
Thank you. I appreciate what you're doing, but no.
Oh.
I'm trying to have people taste Mangria. He has showed me something that is a watered-down, carbonated, big tumbler. Yeah, I could make a drink with almost anything in it. You could any wine. Look, your wife makes a delightful Toll House cookie. I could mash it into a pie. And we could sample it, and you could say, isn't that a good dessert? Yes, it is. It has nothing to do
I would
with
almost argue that it's actually insulting to hand you this thing that it's like he's trying to improve on your creation or something.
It's a little, I mean, yes. And yes, you can make Mangria taste better. There's something called a Better Man, which does taste great. I love that drink, but this is not that. This is you doing your own thing. Mike ordered a white. I ordered a red, and we both got this big, tall tumbler with the mint floating around and the berries mashed up in it. And yes, mint is great. Berries are great. Ice is great. Carbonation is great. It just had nothing to do with Mangria. That was the problem. So I said to Jay, when you set these things up, make sure that the bartenders know that when they're pouring Mangria, they're pouring Mangria. That's it. Mangria over ice until otherwise notified. That's what they're pouring. So, of course, then a little controversy when we had the event at the house on Sunday. I said, well, make sure you have ingredients to do the Better Man. If people want to order the Better Man, that's the Mangria signature drink, then they can have the Better Man. And then Jay said, no, Adam said nothing but, and this is the big game of telephone that I end up playing in my life. Like, no, the drink that me and the guy named Simon invented that I've been talking about for 6 months, that's fine. That's fine that we have on recipe cards and stuff. That's fine. I'm talking about the asshole going rogue with the Mangria and the sprigs of mint. That's what I'm talking about.
I've been to a few of these spirit tastings, and I think it's sort of a tip of the cap to the spirit to make a drink out of it. Like, people might like the taste of tequila. If you go to a tequila tasting, they might like the margarita the guy makes, or the whatever the guy makes. It's sort of here's this Mangria. We're going to make something out of it. We're going to mix it up.
But the difference between tequila or gin or what have you is gin is gin, tequila is tequila. You don't just put it in a glass and drink it. This is put it in a glass and drink it. So if you were having a wine, you had a Pinot Noir and it was a Russian River, and I started dumping a bunch of seltzer and 7-Up into it, you'd be going, you're diluting my product and you're fucking it up. But whether you're making it taste better or not, you're not giving people a sample of it. Yeah, if you're making tequila, then taste how good our margaritas taste using this Cuervo Gold. That much I understand, and then give a little taste of the Cuervo Gold. Anyway, so this morning then, I realized we had nothing on the website, and then I was starting to get pissed off, and then K-Rock was calling me in 7 minutes, and then the guys wanted to go ahead and do the interview anyway, except for we didn't have any information on it, and I called Matt and woke him up and vented on him just a little bit.
Does that mean you told him you were upset at other people, or you yelled at him?
No, I always yell at him about other people and what the fuck is going on and how hard is it to get these things onto the website before, and how many times are we going to talk about it? This is my point is this. How many times am I going to have the same conversation with the same people? Because I'm fucking going insane and I'm busy, and you can have the same conversation with the same people if you're not busy. But if you are busy, it's hard.
Yeah.
It takes away from the time when you work every single weekend. It makes it difficult. Bruce, you act like you want to say something.
No, I was just thinking it's a lot more entertaining when people frustrate the hell out of you.
It's very easy to do.
Much more entertaining.
Just stay the course. Everyone stay the course.
I'm with you on the fact that all of this is even harder to deal with in the morning, though.
Yes.
Like I'll lie in bed, not at all the same, but I'll lie in bed looking at Twitter, and I'll think, this is not the right time for me to do it, because a tiny thing is going to set me off.
Get some coffee in you. Get some eggs in you. That's right. Also, it was all made better because I went and did Howie Mandel's show today. And again, last time I saw him, he was drunk on Mangria. So that was nice and out of his mind for it, for a guy who doesn't drink. The ultimate tip of the cap is the guy who does no drinking, shit-faced on your product and wanting more. But now you guys tell me, and again, I would say this. You know, when I talk to people who get into fights every weekend, I go, you're bringing it on yourself. You know, and they go, man, I was just at the bar minding my own business, and this guy fucking knocked my elbow and spilled my beer all over, and I didn't even say anything, but then he got my grill. And you're like, yeah, but you get in a fight every fucking weekend. How are you not bringing this on? So I ask myself the same questions about these things, and you guys tell me. This is a good one. So I'm doing Howie Mandel's like hidden camera show. Kind of funny concept. I think it's coming out in a few months. I'll keep you posted. But I'm doing a show, and they go down to the Grove thing over there in Glendale and park underneath and park and valet. That's number one, and then work your way up to Nobu and get upstairs to Nobu. That's where we have Tent Valleyville, or Tent City. What do they call that? Video Village. Be up there. So I go, all right. So I pull in, and they go, show up at 1 o'clock and park valet and do it. Okay. I don't know where. It's kind of a big complex. It's over there in Glendale. I'm not real familiar with it. It's the Americana. And I'm not sure where Nobu is. There's 185 stores. Now, what you'd probably do is take a PA and have them go stand out there by valet. And what you probably do is tell them to get there 10 minutes early and just have them sit there. And then when I came up, they'd walk me up somewhere because you wouldn't want me to get lost or get high or get fucking raped or something. Mm-hmm. But fine. But I pull into the valet. I go through the valet thing. There's no valet. There's no valet anything. There's no valet anybody or anything or anywhere. So now I'm going through the valet section, but there's nobody. So I just sort of turn and park. And then I sort of find my way around, find Nobu, and get up there and go do the show. And Howie's nice, have a good time, and everything goes good and fine. And then when it comes time to leave, I get handed the validation. But I realize I didn't pull a ticket because I went to valet parking, but nobody was there. So now as I'm leaving, I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure with these automated things, you have to put your ticket in.
Yeah.
Then you have to put your validation in that says good for 2 hours, except for I don't have a first ticket because there was no one at the valet and I never pulled a ticket. So now I'm in this quandary because there's not going to be anyone to talk to. I'm just going to have people stacking up behind me as I feed in my validation ticket with no initial ticket.
I'm sweating and getting hives just hearing this.
So I do this move where there's nobody coming in through the valet side, so I just turn around and just backtrack it through the valet side. Now, here are my choices. Talk to a human being.
Of which there are none.
If there are, native is not going to, English will not be their native. Native will be their native language.
Mm-hmm. And trying to work something out with you won't be their priority.
First off, it'll be this. There'll be 3 laps around the retard park, where you go. I pulled in and there was no validation guy. There was no valet parking, so I just pulled in and they go, You
didn't grab your ticket?
You didn't get your ticket? And I'll go, no, there was no ticket because I went into valet. You should have waited for the valet. I know, but there was no valet. Where did you park? Valet. So where's your ticket? We're going to do 14 laps. We're going to do 14 laps on the why didn't you? You know that thing where you go and talk to people about, here's the problem. Here's the reason why we're speaking.
Like, I'm telling you about things that happen presumably every day at the place that you work. How is this so confusing to you?
I didn't build a time machine and go back to Elizabethan England and walk into the place where you're making saddles and start talking about some faraway future where they had automobiles and valet parkers.
Right.
They didn't. Right. No, it's where you work. But still there's going to be confusion and lots of laps and then some, you're not supposed to do that kind of thing. So I said, I'm looking around. Still, there's no valet. Anybody. There's no one around. So I go, all right. I'm going to drive up the urethra of life. I'm going to turn around. I'm going back. I can't go the other.
God.
If I go left, I'll hit the gate. I can't get through the gate. And there's no one around. So I'm going to drive against the current of life.
Threading that needle.
And then we're going to have a problem because I'm going to get to the big ramp that leads down from the street. And I'm going against traffic when we get to that ramp. So it's not
someone could be pulling in as you're trying to pull
Someone can be pulling in. So it's not very busy. It's about 3 in the afternoon. It's not much going on. And I do all right, it's about 65 feet. I just got to kind of get to the top. And then once I perch myself on top of the sidewalk on top there, I'll just turn on the street. Or if people see me, they'll give me a dirty look. But I'm not gonna T-bone anyone. And I stay to the right, and I start pulling up. And sure enough, somebody is heading down, and they pass me, and they give me the, like, which way you going, Nicole Richie? You're going the wrong direction, bitch. And I give him the, Howie Mandel. I don't know how much Semi-4 I can do with the Howie Mandel Hidden Camera Show and the no valet, and you said there was going to be a valet. And
what's the sign for I couldn't get a ticket?
All these fucking shows that are so concerned about, like, getting you there. Don't say valet park when there's no valet parking available. But anyway. Let's just send the fucking peon. There's always like 8 peons running around those, the guys that are, going on the Costco runs and getting the bottle marts. Send that guy out to make sure the valet guy knows. But anyway. So now I go up, and I'm staying to the right lane, and here comes Mildred turning left in there. And she does the move where she not only stops to judge, but she blocks and judges, And she stops and she gives the, like, you ate my grandchildren look. like that look we have, that one that drives everyone. It's like righteous indignation mixed with fear and anger and
I've never.
Yeah, I've never, like you're from a 50s sitcom, you're the banker's wife in a Lucy sitcom, and he's coming to dinner. Well, I've never, yeah, you're from a Marx Brothers movie, and she gave what are you? She was perfect. She was perfect. She was like 66 and a half, white, short cropped hair, beige Camry. Like, just, you want fucking Hesher, hacky sack, dude. You want anybody. You want anybody but her. And she literally pinched me and stopped. Like, it was like she was making a citizen's arrest, and she was
with
giving
her eyes.
What kind of man? I could just feel the fucking air coming out of her fucking vent. She's like, what kind of maniac? And I know, but, would you fucking move it along? Because I am 8 feet from daylight. If you just fucking move, I will be up on this sidewalk where I can be clearly seen and no one is going to hit me, and it's going to be a little inconvenience if someone else is turning, but they're not. I'll be up top. I won't be mid-ramp, and she just kind of blocked me. And again, that impulse to stop. Like, there's danger here. I will stop and block it. Like,
if you're the kind of maniac who would drive up this ramp, who knows what else you're capable of?
I wish for once I'd just fucking jump out and start spraying her car with bullets.
What does it appear to her that might be happening? You're running away from the scene of a crime, or like you're not paying for your valet?
Obviously, a mistake was made. I don't think they think of it in terms of a crime was committed. I think they think it's a mistake, but it's an opportunity to judge, and it's an opportunity that will not be squandered.
Right.
So, and the way we can take, we can make judgment soup out of this rock soup is for her to block me in just such a way where I can't get out. I was giving her the I know, and she was just like, oh my goodness, dear God, in my 51 years behind the wheel, I've never seen such a travesty, you know? And I was like, I get it. I'm aware of this. And by the way, I'm driving an expensive car. Like, I'm not crazy, drug-addled guy in minivan with bumper dragging. We're here. I pay taxes.
What was she driving?
She's driving like a Camry or something like that. And she just did the Lexus 400, I think. Lexus something. And she did the stop move and just fucking had that look. And I was to say to all these fucking people, what does this get you? Like, how much, I know I bring this up a lot, but how much satisfaction? What is it? What do you get out of it? What's in it for you?
I would imagine she gets nothing because someone like that is irritated all the time by little tiny things.
For somebody who gets nothing, why is it used so liberally and so often?
Does it extend to the dinner table? Like, does she say to the husband at the end of a long day, oh, I gave someone a dirty look today, and boy, did it feel good.
I imagine they have these conversations about what a douchebag I am when they get home. But again, does it make you money? Does it make you happy?
Control issues. Those are like the people that control the laminates at the concerts.
Right. Yeah, those assholes are always like, no, you can't get on stage. I go, well, someone's going to have to bring on the boss tones, and I'm supposed to be doing it in about 4 minutes. Well, you can't get on stage with that.
So what happened? Are you still there?
I just gave her the get the fuck along in my mind, yes. Just fucking move it. Like, the longer I spend facing the wrong way on this ramp, the more danger that the thing that you're indignant about, you're perpetuating it, cunt. So move it the fuck along. All right, Dr. Spazz.
All right.
What do you got?
First story, I was thinking...
He works the yards and keep his Honda full of gas. With jail in his hair, he's not too bad. He's got good lenses, but real bad frames. Some call him Bruce, but there's another name. We call him Dr. Spazz. We call him Dr. Spazz. He'll put a finger up your ass.
All right.
All right. First story. I thought this was apropos for you, and maybe you could create another business venture with your Mangria. Exercise may prevent alcohol from damaging the brain. They found that individuals that actively exercise, not while drinking, but and drink, have less damage to white matter, the brain cells that allow you to think and communicate. So, being that you have
I think
a penchant,
it's racist to call the thinking ones white matter, dude. Number one.
only you. So, in that sense, they're not encouraging overuse of alcohol.
And not everyone. Look, no, stop. Every time someone says, whenever they do these fucking studies where they go, turns out a glass of wine a day is good for circulation. Now, we're not suggesting that you quit your job, physically abuse your wife, say goodbye to your children, and start living off a fucking night train and slamming heroin and living in a dumpster. Yeah, I know. I got the part about abusing. Why all with the don't abuse? Like, when they say a glass of wine, am I going to go, oh, that's my ticket to fucking Boozeville? Look out, world. I heard during a study that I could drink 24/7. I'm just going to get myself some pop-off vodka in the big squeeze bottle and just fucking start chugging it.
Well, yeah, I think that when you are given a study...
Can we do a fucking study where you just go, here's what the study is, and then not follow it up with, that's not your ticket.
No, because there are requirements when you do the study to put the stupid qualifications, the qualifying statements in there.
All right.
Who requires that?
Oh, don't.
All right, it turns out exercise good
for people that are heavy drinkers, right? So
yeah.
You have a Mangria exercise program. Okay. And another binge drinking.
You can combine actually your two loves if you
Heavy glass.
Heavy glass? I was going to say fighting with the cops.
And that.
You know what I mean? Just getting shit-faced and going at it with the cops.
Weight-resistant glass and fighting with cops.
Okay, on along the same line of drinking, binge drinking in college. What's happened in recent years? People that drink, students that drink in college, tend to binge drink heavily. Percentage of drinkers in college that binge drink, and so binge drinking defined as 5 or more standard alcoholic drinks in the space of 2 hours. And they did a study where they looked at binge drinkers over a period of time that were in college, and they found that the changes in their blood vessels were similar to those seen in middle-aged individuals with coronary artery atherosclerotic heart disease. Now, their blood pressure and their cholesterol were the same, but this is really sort of a monumental study in terms of there's a lot of binge drinking, and it's always been thought, well, binge drinking, no matter how much you drink when you're younger, if you quit, there's no long-term effects. And
so there's long-term effects to drinking.
Yeah. What they looked at were endothelial cells, the little sensitive cells that line your arteries. Those are the ones that, when they become diseased, create plaque, create problems with blood pressure, heart attacks later on. So bad news
for Ray.
For Ray. Well, I don't know. Ray seems to be...
I've seen Ray take Bacardi 151, dump it into a tumbler about 4 inches high, and just gunk, 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 gunk.
Yeah.
Gunk.
Ray is, but maybe he'll just fall apart all at once next time he tries to break my wrist.
When I was in college, I remember hearing that what they called binge drinking was something where I was like, well, that's what all of us do pretty much every week. It was something less than 5 drinks in the space of 2 hours. So I'm happy that this is now what they're calling binge drinking.
Yeah, 5 or more standard alcoholic drinks in the space of 2 hours in men and 4 or more in women.
Oh,
there you go. That's the definition for the study. Okay, do you want a secondhand smoke study?
Yeah, I'd love it.
I just have to provide second and then third-hand smoke is where it gets on your clothes and pillows.
Listen, my kids can look forward to a future with fifth and sixth-hand smoke.
No,
it's going to be awesome.
Well, Lynette's had me smell your drapes and pillows in the family room. Just smell them. I will confirm that you do have some third-hand smoke issues in your house, but
I don't give a fuck.
Oh, surprise, surprise. Okay, it turns out.
Here's the thing about those kids and the safety. The fucking pool was left unchecked their entire childhood. The gates were swinging in the fucking breeze the entire childhood.
Not true. You guys are safe parents, I know. Yeah.
They were closed sometimes.
Right.
But not a lot of times they were open. Plenty of drowning time for those kids.
Yeah, I think Lynette left them open for you when you were binge drinking, so you might fall in.
Oh.
Okay, seriously, secondhand smoke. What they looked at are homes with adolescent girls. And
what the fuck are they...
Well, you get...
don't we have problems? What about problems?
Problems? Cigarette smoke, the more... I obviously don't have time to present all of my cogent material because of some of your...
Go ahead.
Yeah. But it turns out more and more diseases, disorders in health problems. I saw an article today, rheumatoid arthritis and smoking. So cigarette smoking does have a huge effect. And secondhand smoke, this is just looking at cardiovascular health in teenage girls that live in homes where there's smoking. So,
all right, you ever walk into a fucking new apartment that had new carpet put down?
Oh, well.
And you smell that smell?
Oh, yeah, new building syndrome. I mean, that's...
Of all that fucking rush of just chemicals coming into your fucking nostrils.
Oh, absolutely.
What about every kid that's crawling around on some DuPont Dacron pile with some stain-resistant whatever?
Probably what causes autism, actually.
Yeah, and then every fucking leaf blower and how about anyone who lives next to a freeway here in L.A.? How much shit is in the air if you live within 100 feet of a freeway?
There's less shit in the air now than there was 20, 30 years ago. So the point is we do the studies, we identify the problems, and we decrease the amount of the toxins. But cigarette smoking, that's tied to a addictive behavior.
Yes, cigarette smoking is bad for you, and having someone blow cigarette smoke in your face is bad for you, but it coming out of the curtains is not going to do shit to anyone. How do I know? I've conducted a study over the last 250 fucking years.
I want to see the institutional review board that reviewed your study. Yeah.
People used to just sit in their apartments with the windows closed in the winter and just smoke. Fucking kids are fine. Yeah. Jesus goddamn Christ. Can we move on to real fucking problems?
Here's a real problem. Caffeine-laced foods spur FDA investigation. They're putting caffeine in everything.
I know. And here's the thing. Remember as a kid, coffee was for adults?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as coffee.
And pretentious high schoolers.
No. Even even then, like for me, there was like coffee was what the Leave It to Beaver dad drank. Yeah. It was like, that's a drink for adults. There's no coffee anything for kids.
No, I wasn't aware of this. Caffeine's being added to jelly beans, waffles, potato chips, and then the gum, a pack of gum, each piece is equivalent to half a cup of coffee. I mean, 5 pieces of that gum and you're buzzed. And then the kids sit there. I mean, I can go through 2 packs of gum. You know, it's the type of thing where you can really get a toxic level of caffeine.
Yes, what we're doing is we need energy, but we don't have energy because we're fatter, we're less healthy, we're eating like shit, and we're not exercising as much, we're not sleeping as well, and we're constantly distracted. So we have to artificially infuse energy. We're essentially what we're doing is we're creating whatever Elvis was at the end. That's the society we're making ourselves. It's like we have to go to bed at night, but we can't go to bed because we're hopped up from the day.
We ate waffles with caffeine in them.
Right. So we knock ourselves down with some depressant, some sleeping pills or whatever. Everything on the commercials either pick it up or tone it down. Now, like a sleeping pill or a pep it up pill.
Have you considered a Mangria energy drink?
It gives me. It's the wind beneath my wings. Yeah.
I thought that was... Never mind. Okay, tanning beds. I didn't realize it, but there's a new law in effect. Tanning beds are banned in California. The minimum age has been raised from 14 to 18 years old. And I was looking at some stats.
That's what I'm saying.
On 10 to 12-year-olds.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Here's I want to be in one of these fucking council meetings when they bring these things to order. You know what I mean? You be the lawmaker who wants to put this legislation forward with the tanning beds. Yes, the chair recognizes Dr. Spazz. Dr. Spazz?
Yes, I'd like to go through some data on the number of cancer deaths in the United States, and ultimately I have legislation to control the age of the users of tanning beds in the state.
Okay, so 100% graduation rate from high schools here in the state of California?
I'd strike that from the record. That's
People
irrelevant.
Speeding along the 405 at a breakneck speed during rush hour?
That's a separate issue.
Cops, firemen, pensions, all taken care of. No fucking deficit whatsoever.
I represent the American Academy of Dermatology
Potholes
here.
filled.
I can't change.
Prisons
I can't
emptied.
Change the world you live
Why
in.
don't you fucking fix one of those goddamn things? I'll tell you what. I have 100 problems to get to before we get to fucking tanning beds. You understand?
Bed ain't one.
It ain't fucking one of them. Like fucking P. Diddy, like Super Earl. I don't know many rappers. But tanning beds ain't in my top 1,000. So, sorry. Take that. We're going to focus on potholes. Then we're going to focus on elderly abuse. Then we're going to focus on third-hand smoke. Then we're going to focus on the dropout rate in high schools.
Are you really
seniors?
I want another
standardized testing and math scores going through the fucking floorboards. And then we're done with all that. And we fixed everything. And we put a fucking bow on all those problems. Then we'll get back to you and your minimum required age for tanning beds. All right?
Yeah.
Thank
okay.
you.
All right.
Please let the minutes reflect that the speaker's tone has turned quite abusive.
Jesus fucking
Somebody
Christ.
reflect it. All right.
Do we need another fucking law in this state?
No.
How about we just fucking get the school systems working?
Okay.
Jesus goddamn Christ.
Okay. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Resting heart rate and risk of early cardiovascular death. So what they found, another correlation between your resting heart rate and your cardiovascular health, and if you have a risk of sudden death in earlier years. So I don't know if you've ever measured your resting heart rate. Some people, they're in good shape, but they have a resting heart rate 95, 100.
I'm somewhere between mummy and coma.
No, well, that's great. I mean, if you're 50 to 60 resting heart rate versus if you're resting heart rate at 90, your risk of cardiovascular death, heart attacks, triple.
I'm between triathlete and is this thing working? It doesn't seem to be alive.
No, that's good. I mean, that's exactly where you want to be.
It's good for you. It's not good for my kids when they present me with their artwork. Well, there you go.
All right. Okay. And one that's near and dear to my heart. U.S. scientists find high levels of lead in imported rice.
That's near and dear to your heart?
Well, because it's like I tell my kids when we go to Walmart, you can buy anything in the store as long as it's not made in China.
Have those kids picked the pizza topping that they're into
Those
yet?
kids they say you haven't had them back over for pizza, so they're pissed at you.
They shan't return for pizza.
Well, maybe for babysitting though.
Brian, you play me asking
we got your kids
Bruce's
guitars.
kids asking Bruce's kids what they'd like on the pizza I'm about to order them.
Hey, good news, kids! It's time for pizza. You guys excited for pizza?
You know what they say? They say that
tell me-
story's so old. Okay, I got two more.
Shut up. Yeah.
Two more interesting.
Shut up.
Whatever you know what? World's your right. Whatever you want on your pizza topping. What is it? Let me know. I'm on the phone. Quickly.
Pizza.
No. We're getting pizza. Whatever you want on the pizza. It's your treat. Whatever you want.
Pizza fly.
No. On top, the pizza toppings. What you kids have another name for it? Pizza toppings.
Cheese. I like cheese.
Well, cheese is more of a base.
Pizza. We don't have the topping. We don't have toppings. Do you have options?
I mean, I suppose pepperoni. Everyone likes pepperoni, right?
I don't know.
Well, you gotta like something. Sausage. Vegetarians. Bruce is raising you vegetarians.
I'm going to crawl inside of my head. You've done a wonderful job at that.
Wow, that's just
Did you say you're
cold-blooded.
going to crawl inside your head?
Hat.
Oh, hat.
That's what they do.
Cold-blooded. All right.
I've never experienced talking to a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old begging them for their favorite pizza toppings, and it's like I've fucking had to start waterboarding them to try to get a pizza topping out of them.
While
Bruce, what goes on over there?
They've grown up now. They'll be able to order pizza at your house.
They can shout out pineapple now. Are we at that point, or do you have to stand there with a dry erase board?
No. Okay, I got one more thing I want to get.
Okay, but while we're being cold-blooded, Bruce has said Americans and arthrosclerotic or something, and we haven't made anything.
I know.
Made any ado about it.
No, he said near and dear to hurt.
Oh, yeah. My daughter was reading some Twitter thing that said I could never go to a doctor that says America. I don't say America. What? I don't get this. I am getting more flack from people that
listen.
About it.
I give Bruce crap. He's smarter than Dr. Drew. He knows more about medicine than Dr. Drew.
Well, I would
That's his
get
job.
a copy of that.
No, he does. He does. He provides
Whatever.
more answers, and he's better read, and he's practicing. You know, he's not a TV doctor, obviously. He knows medicine. He just can't express it.
Let me tell you, this is just a short anecdote. How I know I'm not a celebrity. Some guy, I'm walking out of a restaurant in Redlands, and he goes, "Oh, Dr. Spazz." And then, you're not a celebrity when he has to explain to people around him who I am.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, this guy's a...
All right.
Anyway, so.
Right
Okay,
now.
one more thing.
All right, bring it home.
L-Carnitine. I've always wondered about L-Carnitine.
The great swordsman?
No, L-Carnitine, the food additive, and what all my...
Soccer player?
No, what everybody
The
takes
wrestler.
to build...
Never seen his face. He's always got the mask.
Have you ever taken that at the gym? You've seen it at the gym.
Yeah, sorry. What?
L-Carnitine.
He does that El Kabong move with the guitar at the end of each match?
No, L-Carnitine.
I love his cape.
How many people at the gym, how many people that you know that are trying to build muscle are taking L-Carnitine?
I don't.
Oh.
Don't. And it's added to all the
dozens.
energy drinks.
110%.
I could name them, but it'd take the rest of the show.
Okay.
I don't know anyone. Does anyone? I've never even heard of L-Carnitine.
I'm still in the
It's
wrestling.
like
thing.
creatine
no,
from Mexico.
No,
Oh,
No,
it's
I'm
just
thinking it-
L. It's not EL.
Oh, it's just
Actually,
called
L-carnitine.
L-carnitine. I've seen it on
Yeah.
a big
Uh-huh.
jug of stuff.
I am misassociating with creatine, but carnitine is the stuff you see in the energy drinks.
It's L.
It's an amino acid compound.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and so there's been a big debate because it's one of these things that the people that recommend all the healthy things to do have been recommending for years, and now there's a concern that it actually, through a metabolism of a gut bacteria, causes something that leads to heart disease. So there's been a big thing in the news about because it's such a widely used substance that's in all the energy drinks. If you look at, well, I don't want to mention any brand names, but there's a concern that it does increase coronary artery.
All right, let me
artery
explain. Let me
disease.
cut to the chase here,
Yes.
everybody. The great Dr. Drew once said, no free lunch in nature. And all the energy drinks and all the supplements and all the shit, there's no substitute. First off, there's no substitute for wanting to get out of bed in the morning. The best thing you can do, like people talk about building up your immune system and all that kind of shit. And by the way, people tweet me stuff all day long that talks about moms when they drop the pacifier, they lick it off in their mouth and they pop it into the kid's mouth and then the kid magically doesn't get sick. And all the shit I complain about with all the fucking food allergies, with soft-ass Whitey, and all the things I complain about all come to fruition magically. Why? I know everything because I know nothing. Said this 1,000,001 times. I'm intuitive. I'm tuned into the earth, man. I'm like a fucking idiot.
That was my top article. That's in the New York Times today. Parents that
Your top article is the one you're not going to get to?
I forgot. No, the parents that lick the pacifier. Lower rates of allergies and asthma in those kids.
I love
Just came out.
All right. So here's the thing. There is no greater health. Everyone's talking about, look, I'm going on a master cleanse, and I'm fucking on the creatine, or I'm doing this, or I've cut back on that, or I'm doing my cheat day, or I'm on no carbs. And first thing you need for your health, for your immune system, for your energy level, for everything in life is be interested in fucking life. Have somewhere to go. Have something to do. Have a passion.
What if you can't do that?
You have to.
You're depressed.
That's everything else. Well, there's not enough coffee on the planet to give you enough energy. There's not enough supplements. There's not enough protein powder to ever make up for, I'm fucking excited about doing this. And if you take a look at anyone who's had a great life, you take a look at the great Paul Newman.
Yes.
I am trying to work out a documentary on Paul Newman. That guy ran his last race when he was 82 years of age. He died at 83. He was married to the same woman for 50 years, and he fucking loved life. And if he wasn't doing a salad dressing, he was winning championships. And if he wasn't doing that behind the wheel of a car, he was making a movie. How much creatine did that guy ingest in his life? How many supplements? How much fucking Red Bull did that guy take in? How much all this bullshit? Did he ever talk about not being properly hydrated? Did he ever talk about drinking 8 glasses of water a day?
He ate all those eggs in Cool Hand Luke.
He ate as much cholesterol as he could take in.
Was he ever worried about toxins?
And that sweat box. He never talked about fucking toxins. All he did was get up every morning and go, I'm fucking excited about the very small amount of time I have on this planet and all the things I want to do in that small amount of time. So listen, everybody, forget about the fucking supplements. Forget about the fucking master cleanse. Forget about the coffee enema. Forget about all the bullshit the man's fucking trying to either shove up your ass or ram down your throat, and focus on getting excited about something in life. Focus on a direction. Focus on a muse. Focus on a reason to get out of bed, because there's no amount of supplements, and there's no amount of caffeine, and there's no amount of pharmaceuticals that can ever be substituted for enthusiasm.
Well said.
Now let's go win one for the fucking Acer. Thank you. That's enough of you.
Okay. Thank you for allowing me to share with you.
Thank you.
That being said, isn't it hard for you to get out of bed in the morning?
I hate it.
Okay.
I'm miserable. We have an outro?
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Oh, okay.
This has been Health Watch with Dr. Spazz.
All right. You got a movie to review, do you not?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Hooray for Bollywood. He will tell you if a movie's good. Bryan will review the flicks that he's seen up on the big screen or in his Netflix queue. Before you spend bucks, remember his taste sucks. He loved that train wreck piece of shit Transformers 2. Hooray for Bollywood.
Yeah, I saw Iron Man 3. Like
Yeah.
you said, $170-something million in the first weekend.
Unbelievable, baby.
That's a noteworthy number. I'm not usually too interested in box office. That's a pretty big number. Yeah, that's worthy of respect. Co-written and directed by Shane Black, who you may know from Predator. He was in Predator. He was an actor. He's the guy with the glasses. The guy, I think he died first or second. He was Hawkins in Predator. He also wrote, he's a legendary writer, Lethal Weapon 1 and 2, The Last Boy Scout, The Last Action Hero. He's a big writer in the 80s and 90s. And,
Wow.
Still at it.
A lot of range.
Returning, of course, Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle, who, remember, took over for Terrence Howard after the first one.
Well, I'm not a good enough actor to point out when other people are horrible at acting. Right. But the very first movie, I watched the whole movie, and then I went, what the fuck was wrong with Terrence Howard? Like, why was he in this movie? It's like, it's like there was some sort of EEOC decree that said you must put a person of color in this, and someone grabbed Terrence Howard and shoved him into this movie. Like, he didn't want to be there. They didn't want him there. I have no idea what he was doing there.
Yeah, I think it's rare that an actor it's rare that an actor in a successful movie gets replaced in the sequel. It happened with Katie Holmes and Maggie Gyllenhaal in the Batman movies.
Yeah, but
I think that's
they're sort of who cares, and they interchange them a lot. I mean, in Batman,
it's pretty rare
Terrence
that
Howard's
the
a
same
good
character.
actor.
It's pretty rare the same
that's true.
actor gets replaced for the same character.
They did the black guy math, put in place.
New to the
we didn't know
cast.
the two Darrens apart in Bewitch. Who's going to know
I think
the brothers?
that's the acting version of your Terrence is Terrence. I think they kind of wanted to move on with someone new.
He's a good actor. I don't think he wants to do superhero movies,
He
and
seemed
he
out of
just
place.
didn't seem like he wanted to be there. But anyway,
Guy Pearce is in this one from Memento, and Ben Kingsley's in this one. He's great. Ben Kingsley was my favorite part of the movie.
he's great in everything.
I'm sad to say I didn't actually like the movie that much. Have you seen it yet? Or shouldn't you'll see it with Sonny?
I love Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys. A lot of stuff sort of you could swap this guy out for that guy, and then there's a handful of guys where you go, that guy's super charismatic.
He's in that category of just great actors where there's only a few people like him. He's
Right.
great. Less Than Zero, he's great. Tropic Thunder, all these great movies.
Unbelievable
Long
talent.
career.
Yes.
Didn't like the movie that much. I kind of
All right, the first one was good.
First one was great. I liked the first one a lot. I think
people
we've
don't-
seen that together
people
actually in the
don't-
Cinerama Dome. With
Yeah.
Lynch and a couple of
People don't realize what's good about the first one is you get to discover the character.
Great backstory. The whole thing with the cave and everything was fun.
And also, as I say all the time, foreplay. I mean, not at home, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying when you're making movies. Foreplay. The first one took a little while to get to the point where he was back in the U.S. and blah, blah, blah.
I didn't like the second one very much. That was just me.
Because there's action on top of
yeah,
action. Look, it's the same thing they do. It's the Jaws thing. The first Jaws, you didn't see the shark for the first hour. The second Jaws, the Jaws was sliding through the drive-thru of the fucking McDonald's and eating people in the first 8 seconds.
This has two of your pet peeves in movies, especially these kinds of movies. Number one, the whole thing where if one Iron Man is good, two is better.
Right.
And this one has many more. There's many
alien
it's going to be
syndrome.
called Iron Men.
I'm going to spay and neuter my pet peeves. I'm tired of them reproducing.
It also has a vulnerable hero who suffers from repeated panic attacks. So this is
I
this is
could've
Tony
cured
Stark
that.
who's coming to grips with himself, his vulnerability.
No, I don't need that either.
It's for kids. I'm sure Sonny will love it. I'm sure Sonny will dig it
But
a lot.
The mistake, it's the alien versus aliens.
Well, that's a bad example because Aliens
Mistake.
is awesome. But
I know, but here's the deal.
it's every other. You're right. Every
No,
other.
it is true that Aliens is good, and then the subsequent ones, there's too many. And Aliens is a really good movie, but Alien was great, and it makes both my points. First off, foreplay, slow burn. Nothing going on for the first hour of that movie, really. So by the time something breaks, you're fucking wet down there. Number one. Number two, one antagonist you can focus on. You want it by the time of that. By the time she was in that escape pod, spoiler alert from 1979, but by the time she was in that escape pod and that fucking alien would not let go of the thing.
Relentless.
You just had that thing with that one creature. Once there's an army of those creatures and you're mowing them down, some are still getting to the guys, but they become... They're not invincible anymore. They become sort of mortal. You can mow them down or you can hit them with a flamethrower. Flamethrower seems to be very effective, and nothing stands the test of time like a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Like they were using those on Iwo Jima to root the Japanese out of caves in 1944, and then 2,000 years in the future, same fucking guy with the flamethrower.
Yep.
Unlike denim,
No,
unlike hinges.
Yeah, denim's gone.
Yep. And blouses don't really seem... No, but...
Apparently leather and flamethrowers. The only
And
things
kind
that
of skirts, like in the future,
Yeah.
chicks wear a version of the
Oh.
dude outfit.
like the one piece sort of.
Well, it's like if I wore flannel shirt and Dockers, you'd wear a chick version of flannel shirts and Dockers. and
Yeah,
they're-
everyone's kind of wearing a uniform.
They kind of wear the same thing, yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so not as
Did
good
you see
as...
the Avengers with Sonny?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so there's a lot of references to the Avengers. Like he's talking about, after what happened in New York with the aliens and blah blah blah. And engage me in this conversation for a second. When you're in a world that has a Hulk and Thor with his magic hammer, what good is Iron Man? If Iron Man gets killed, what are the stakes? If he gets killed, we'll just call Thor and his magic hammer, or the Hulk, who literally cannot be defeated. He cannot be destroyed.
This is why Bryan gets out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
But exactly. But what are the stakes in this movie now? Now, who cares if Iron Man dies or gets injured? There's a Hulk and there's a Thor who has a magic hammer.
You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to do like a split screen with you doing this,
Yeah.
and then have some some guy. How old are you? 32.
34. Yeah.
34.
Yep.
Guy in Darfur, who's 34, who's explained to his wife, "The well is dry. The cattle are all dead." with a slightly less passion.
Yeah.
Slightly less passion than your Thor, Iron Man.
What point is Iron Man in a world where there's the Hulk?
The crops are dust. It's just like
We have a Hulk.
4 of
Thor
our
with his
9
hammer.
children have AIDS. The other 3 have herpes.
It's
They're
a
all
world
dead.
with the Hulk and Thor. Thor has a hammer. What is the point of
I
Iron
love
Man?
a fucking first world problem.
Can this
That's
magic?
what we have.
Can said the magic hammer cure famine?
That's what we have.
Yes. Okay.
First world
That was
problems,
my
baby.
main problem with the movie. Everyone else likes it. Has 78% on Rotten Tomatoes. However, only 69 among the top critics. So maybe for the more discerning viewer.
And now, what is the first one? Now, how much better is this reviewed than number 2?
That's a great question. And Gary would have to look that up. I'm guessing a little better.
I would say, Now, if I was to do my Ocean's 11 trilogy,
Okay.
where they did we did Ocean's 11, everyone went, oh, that was kind of a fun romp.
It was fun, yeah.
And then we did Ocean's 12 or whatever the next one was, and
All right.
it was a piece of shit.
Oh, you thought 12 was a piece of shit? It was
Well,
okay. Wasn't as good as
disappointing.
the first one.
Yeah,
For sure.
and then everyone did we're back with the third one. But they weren't really back with the third one. And now I got to see the Rotten Tomatoes for one. What would you say? One
was very good. I would say that might be in the 80s.
higher than Iron Man 1. I'm going to take Iron Man 1.
Are you saying Ocean's 11 one?
I want to take the Ocean's
That's a lot of
11
numbers.
trilogy and put it up against the Iron Man trilogy and see where that
boy.
dip on number 2 and then the rise again. First one best on both, right?
This third one's far better than Ocean's 13. This is gonna,
Yes,
Ocean's
okay.
13's got to be in the 50s.
Good.
I would guess.
Iron Man 1, is this, give me top critics, please. Or right now I have critics, but or I hope this is critics, right? Right. Top critics? All right. We'll fix it. Anyway, 89 on the top critics for 1.
Sounds about right. It's a good movie.
73 for number 2. It's a little higher than I would have
yeah,
what I
I
would
didn't
thought.
like it that much.
And then 78 for the third. Well, it's better than the second one, right?
Yeah, I would say that. Yes, for sure. I would. If they're
But
given
you
the choice
think the
right now.
second one is unnaturally high?
Yes, I think so.
That should have been more in the 60s.
Yeah, I would give us about a C+. Didn't love it. If you haven't seen it, you haven't seen it in a while, or you haven't seen it at all, see Predator. That's a fun movie. It's a smart movie. The director's in the movie, for God's sake. See Predator. That's a good flick.
All right, Ocean's 11, the 12, and the 13. Ooh, that's interesting. 86 on the top critics.
Yeah. For
Was
the first
that-
one.
Yeah, was that now? That was higher than Iron Man.
No,
was
it's
it not?
89 for Iron
Oh,
Man.
89. Sorry, 86,
Virtual tie.
and then 63. So big dip, and then 60, which I'm confused by because I thought the last one. At least everyone said they're back, but it sucked. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was a piece of shit.
63 feels too low for the second one. 60 feels too high for the third one. But
All right.
they're not great.
Either way,
Iron Man 3, I'm sure you'll see it because Sonny have it on video. probably
Sonny
going
and
around
I
there.
watched the Avengers the other night, which was good, and it's
They have a Hulk. He can't be defeated.
I'm never sure, like I've always said, like I'm not sure what the rules are. Like when the guy gets thrown down the Grand Canyon and lands on the bottom of the Grand Canyon, when he gets up, he has to get up, but he does it. Like, oh, is you hurt part of your vertebrae dropping 2,000 feet and landing on that fucking decomposed granite? You okay? Yeah, just to clear the cobwebs. Like, again, Superman flies, doesn't flap his arms, but when he lifts an island
Strains.
up, he has to strain to do it. It's I don't know.
When they shoot rockets at the Hulk, he catches them in midair.
Right.
He cannot be defeated.
I could never do this math, which is I always did this sort of human being bullet math, which is if you take a bullet's the size of your thumbnail, and that's a big slug. And then you take some scary guy like Mike Tyson, and you realize you'll be tougher than Mike Tyson if you have a 9mm or 44, and you put one of those slugs in the right place. You're going to stop Mike Tyson. So that's what it is. Even when I was a kid, and I was watching like those Godzilla movies and stuff, and they're firing rockets at him, it's like it was annoying him. But in comparison, much bigger than the bullet you're dropping Mike Tyson with. You know what I mean? Like why? Whether it was King Kong or whether anything that could bleed, anything that had flesh, you're firing full-blown rockets into the thing. Why is it not taking it down? Maybe I overthought it. All right, let's just get high and enjoy. Moving on. Outro.
Hooray for Bollywood!
All right, let's take ourselves a little break. Rock and roll legend Lita Ford in studio. We'll bring her in next. All right, back in studio. Lita Ford is here. She brought along her guitar man, Mitch Perry. Mitch and I have been bonding over race cars. You wouldn't recognize it from the leather pants, but this man knows vintage racing, so that's been nice. Lita, we'll talk to you in a second, but I thought let's just get set up and let's play ourselves a song as long as you guys brought your guitars. Let's do it.
Right on. Let's do Kiss Me Deadly.
Let's do it.
You ready, Mitch?
Ready.
I went to a party last Saturday night. I didn't get laid. I got in a fight. It ain't no big thing. Nope. Late for my job and the traffic was bad. Had to borrow $10 from Mitch's old man. It ain't no big thing. Nope. I went to a party last Saturday night. I told you that story, it'd be alright. It ain't no big thing, but I know what I like. I know I like dancing with you, and I know what you like. I know you like dancing with me. Oh yes. Hey, kiss me once, kiss me twice. Come on, pretty baby, kiss me deadly. Had a few beers, getting high, sitting, watching the time go by. It ain't no big thing. Nothing to eat and no TV. Looking in the mirror, don't get it for me. It ain't no big thing, but I know what I like. I know I like dancing with you, and I know what you like. I know you like dancing with me. Oh yeah. Yeah, kiss me once, kiss me twice. Come on, pretty baby, kiss me deadly. Kiss me once, kiss me twice. Come on, pretty baby, kiss me deadly. All right, now we need some hand claps. All right. Keep doing that. You know I like dancing with you, dancing with you. Kiss me once, kiss me twice. Come on, pretty baby, kiss me deadly. Kiss me once, kiss me twice. Come on, pretty baby, kiss me. Come on, pretty baby, kiss me. Come on, pretty baby, kiss me deadly. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yahoo!
Lita, that's Lita Ford with a nice assist from Mitch Perry. It sounded great. Put your guitars down, your headphones on, and sidle up to that microphone, people. Let's talk. Living Like a Runaway, available now on Amazon and iTunes. And you know what to do. If you're going to go to Amazon, you go through our website, you hit the Amazon banner. First record released in how many years, Lita?
Well, my first record was in 1976.
Was that the Runaways?
That was the Runaways. Yes.
Jesus Christ, you don't look that old. You're not that old.
I
you
started
were like
young.
13. How creepy? I saw the documentary, but maybe it was the Rodney on the Rock documentary. Sit in your seat there, Lita. Get up on that microphone if you would, please.
Saddle up.
How creepy was that manager, or whatever guy who? Did you see that Rodney on the Rock? Was it the Mayor of Sunset Strip?
Mayor of Sunset Strip.
Yeah, Mayor of Sunset. You ever see that doc?
No.
Oh.
No, I haven't.
You never saw it?
No.
It's a great documentary about Rodney Bingenheimer called The Mayor of the Sunset Strip.
Oh, wow.
It's a great documentary.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Really?
I had no clue. I honestly have been on a deserted island for almost a decade, and it might have come out during that time.
I believe
Is that a literal deserted island or like a metaphorical?
Literally deserted island.
Oh, really?
I've had no TV, nothing to eat, and no TV. No, literally, I lived in the Turks and Caicos Islands on North Caicos, which has population 1,500 people. There's no television. You have to have a satellite if you want to watch TV.
What?
Or use the internet.
What kind of place is this with no TV?
Were you being punished? What's
they
going
have
on?
TV in prison.
Yes, I was being punished.
Wow.
And yes, it was like a prison. And you got to listen to Living Like a Runaway because it tells a story.
But you chose to live there, right?
No.
You're avoiding the tax man?
No.
You were grounded?
Bad relationship.
I was married. Is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got kissed deadly.
I did.
Right.
I did, yes.
Bad relationship.
Back from the dead now.
Uh-huh. So how many years there?
Almost a decade.
So much TV to catch up on. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I never watched TV. I watched kids' movies. I've loved Finding Nemo
that's a
and
good
The
movie.
Jungle Book and all that stuff.
Finding Nemo reminded you of your yard.
Yeah, completely. Oh, yeah. Well, we have the second largest reef in the world is wrapped around the Turks and Caicos
No
Islands.
one wants to hear about the second largest. We have a great barrier reef, and then we have a not so great one around Caicos over there.
Then there's the rest.
Then there's the rest.
Yeah, right?
That's right. Who came in second at the Kentucky Derby?
No one knows.
That's
And that's
right.
the point.
That's the point. All right. Enough reef talk.
Enough Rodney Bingenheimer talk.
So, but I believe the Runaways were discussed, and if not, it was the
You're
super.
talking about Kim Fowley?
Is that the creepiest man to ever live?
No, Kim Fowley.
He's in the documentary.
He's the weirdest.
He's
one of the
featured
weirdest.
I don't have a big chasm between creepy and weird
Oh,
when it comes to guys and their sexuality.
eccentric would be the word for Kim. He's just eccentric. He was our manager in the Runaways.
Yeah, I had him in a little more of those shaded with creepy, though.
Yeah.
At least as he came across in this particular.
That's a movie to catch up on. That's a really good
I
documentary.
will. I absolutely will.
Yeah, so there must have been some crazy times, like Sunset Strip,
Yeah.
70s, later 70s, early 80s. I mean,
was
what the hell
awesome.
was going on? It was awesome?
It was
Where-
awesome.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up all over the world, really. I was born in London, and we made our way through the U.S., and we ended up in California.
And what age were you when you moved out here?
God, I was in second grade.
Uh-huh. Where'd you live?
Long Beach, and I went to school in Long Beach, and I commuted back and forth to Hollywood to go to rehearsal after we got out of school. This was in junior high. I met the girls, and then in high school, we joined the band, and I would go to high school, finish my day at high school, and I'd get in the car, and I'd drive down to Huntington Beach, pick up the drummer, and drive to Hollywood to rehearse with a rock band,
Right.
and then drive her back to Huntington Beach, drop her off, drive back to Long Beach, and get up the next morning and go to high school.
In a car with no airbags.
I got airbags. What are you talking about?
She grabbed her boobies. Everybody, all these stories, I know it's when you start retelling these stories, I always just think about like, oh yeah, we'd go to Tijuana for the weekend and sleep on the beach and get a bottle and all that kind of stuff when we were 17. And you think, oh my God, if my kid ever tries half of this shit, I'll fucking kill myself.
Yeah, and no one had phones then. So if you got into trouble, you had to find one.
We didn't have AAA cards or credit cards or anything. Yeah, to find a
we
phone.
had 747s.
So what did your parents think of this? What was their situation?
They were really supportive. I think my parents were, maybe out of all the girls, they were probably the most supportive parents out of the group. Although our bass player's mom had to go with us on tour at first because we were too young to play in certain venues. Mm-hmm. We needed adult supervision. Mm-hmm. So we brought the bass player's mom, who's Jackie Fox.
So you're like 17 years of age, or under 18, in other words?
Yes. I was the oldest, and I was 17.
Wow. And so you guys were out touring at that point.
We toured. Our very first tour was 3 months on the road with the Ramones.
Wow.
And my father went to school and got my high school diploma because I was on tour. I couldn't go get it. So he went to Long Beach Poly High School and picked up my diploma for me while I was out on tour with the Ramones.
Wow.
It was pretty wild.
Long Beach Poly, the Jackrabbits?
No. I don't know what they were, but they were pretty. It was a brutal high school.
I got to find out what the name of that team was. I don't know why. All right, so when you said your dad went to high school for you, I thought he was like taking tests and turning in homework and stuff.
That would be very supportive.
What a supportive dad, and what a dumb high school.
Yeah,
Nothing
right?
like that 15-year-old with the blonde hair at all.
Miss Ford, do you have a question?
Yeah, let's do it. Don't focus on the male pattern baldness. Focus on the paperwork and the penmanship. What did your dad do?
My father was in real estate. He passed away in 1988, but he was in real estate.
And Mama did what?
She worked at the Long Beach Medical Center in downtown Long Beach, and she worked with all the doctors.
Would you like to know the name of your high school football team?
Yeah.
The Jackrabbits.
Was it really?
This is very sad.
She was on tour.
It wasn't
very
the Jack-Offs. It
very
was the
sad that I have to
Jackrabbits.
tell you the name of your high school
But I
football
was
team.
not. I got to tell you something.
I wasn't there either, sweetie.
I went to Lakewood High School first, and I didn't like football. And a lot of the football players went to Lakewood High School. And I went home, and I told my mother and father that I can't go to this high school because it's all football players and cheerleaders, and I need rock and roll. So I used to get in the bus and take the bus from Lakewood to downtown Long Beach to Poly High School so I could go to high school with my buddies that played in the rock band.
Lakewood, home of the Matadors. But anyway.
That's nice that your parents, like I feel like a lot of us, if we had said to our parents, we need rock and roll, they wouldn't have let us go to a different high school.
Yeah.
My parents would have just been, look, as far as you can walk, you feel free to attend the school on Neptune if you can walk there.
You're going to high school? You're enrolled in school?
Wow, we did not know that. Now we need to know the Lakewood High School football
Were you
team
athletic?
Name. I actually played football. I don't like to talk about it.
Just this once.
Yeah, okay.
Come on.
You got me out of my
your
shell.
rule.
All Central Valley first team. We wouldn't have gotten along because I needed to not rock. I needed to play football.
Oh, yeah, we would have probably beat each other to a pulp.
I picked a horrible sport to make myself good at, and then I got like scholarships to crappy schools, but I was too stupid to fill out the paperwork and stuff, so I never took the SATs or anything. It's a very sad non-rock and roll story. I was not touring when I was young. I was touring kitchens, cleaning the carpets. The Lancers. Sorry, that's the name of the Lakewood team.
You were touring other friends' pantries.
So why out of the Runaways so early?
Well, I got a phone call from Kim Fowley.
That's a creepy guy?
Well,
he's weird and eccentric.
Weird and eccentric, yes. The creepy guy.
Well, weird and eccentric meets I want to have sex with people under 18 makes you creepy, right?
Well, it depended on what suit he had on.
Right.
The weird and eccentric was the purple suit with the plaid-colored shirt underneath. Striped shirt, and then the creepy guy was the brown suit. When the brown suit came out, you knew that something was up.
Yeah, and when something came out of the brown suit, it was time to lock
that
your
I
door.
never saw.
That's
Adam,
good.
Extra creepy birthday suit.
Yeah, the creepiest suit of all.
Didn't go there with Kim, but
Good. Everyone else did.
I never did. But Kim taught us a lot. You know, he taught us a lot
Sure.
about choreography and how to front a band and be in a band. And I don't think I would have been doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for Kim.
Well, if you like Kim, do not watch that documentary.
Okay.
He comes across as, not, I would say, Hitler-esque, but in top, definitely one of the guys who helped that effort.
Goebbels?
Yeah. Is it Goebbels?
Oh, he
Yeah, I
is
mean,
a
it'd be
Hitler, though. You're right.
Like Goebbels-esque.
Yeah, Goebbels-esque. Goebbels-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds cuter that
Yeah.
way.
He is a Hitler type.
Yeah. And I don't know what he's still doing alive, but he's still
I know.
He's still doing whatever he's doing. And then the Rodney thing is just unbelievable because I used to work at K-Rock, so I'd get a nice I'd see Rodney, see him when he'd come in on Sunday nights. But it was an incredible time. I mean, these guys were Belinda Carlisle, and everyone was banging on the back door of the old K-Rock, sliding the tapes under the door, trying to get a little airplay. I mean, how did it work for the Runaways? How were you guys discovered, so to speak?
Mercury Records. Denny Rosenkrantz from Mercury Records was one of the gentlemen that discovered the Runaways, along with Kim Fowley. And Kim took us to Mercury Records, which later became BMG, RCA. They went through all these different titles.
Was it just a Wild West back then? And what are some of the bands you saw who were coming up? You must have seen a million bands on the way up.
Well, we grew up, the Runaways grew up with the punks. The Sex Pistols, Blondie, the Ramones.
What the hell was it like opening for the Ramones when you were 16 or 17?
Insanity. It was absolute insanity. The Ramones used to have chicken wire up in front of the stage because the audience used to throw handfuls of change at them. So they would have chicken wire up to block stuff flying in their direction.
Yeah.
The Runaways only got condoms filled with weird stuff like noodles or men's underwear.
How do you even get the noodles in the... Oh, no, I guess you could.
Yeah. Condoms. But all better than what's supposed to be in condoms if you think about it.
Yeah.
Well, you never know what was in there with those noodles.
I was
God.
doing a stage.
What a weird pasta sauce.
Bottom ramen. I was out on stage at RFK Stadium, and the fucking guy I was standing next to asked for money. Like he did that, in front of 55,000 people. Like, hey, man, I'm not getting paid enough. And all of a sudden, we were getting pelted with nickels and quarters.
Oh, that hurts.
I was on stage when someone threw one of those mini Jägermeister bottles. Like, people don't realize you can be 28 rows back and just chuck that little booze bottle, and by the time it's at lethal velocity by the time it goes past your forehead up on stage. Many a person has been taken out by shit toss at them up on stage. And
my ex-boyfriend, I got to tell you, got hit with a frozen rump roast, and he got knocked out.
Wow. My dad went the same way.
How did
May he rest in peace. It was a good roast.
How did someone get a frozen rump roast into the concert?
Well,
or the
nowadays they go through your purse and they make sure you don't have a 12 gauge in there or anything like that.
Right.
But then you could bring just about anything into those shows.
Yeah, you can really do some damage with a roast. Although, who's the joke on? You know what I mean? Also, I remember going to Perkins Palace. Remember that? Remember in Pasadena?
Yes.
And seeing the Plasmatics. And we're in the front row in the mosh pit. It's not really a row, it's just a pit. And they're going to blow up a car. And they blew up a car. We thought, oh, this got to be a joke. And I'll never forget very vividly. It twisted my sexuality, and I've never been right. The bass player from the Plasmatics wore a tutu in fishnet stockings, right? And
Wendy O. Williams.
Wendy O. Williams was the lead singer,
She was
right?
the lead singer.
Jean Bouvard was the bass player.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. Now, see, most people couldn't answer that in this room. So
I couldn't.
He had, and it could have been lead guitar, but it was probably bass player. He had his foot up on the feedback amp there, and the other one was on the stage. He was playing the whole time. A 16-year-old Adam Carolla was down in the pit, the stage about 5 feet off the ground. He's sort of looking up. The guy's wearing a tutu with fishnet socks. He had one nut had popped out of the tutu and was just being pressed up against the fishnet stocking the entire time. That's all I was staring at. As this guy's one nut up, almost like it being trying to be extruded through this fishnet stocking.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been the same sexually.
Did you want to pull it through?
I just remember that. I remember they took a chainsaw and they sawed a guitar in half, and then my buddy Ray got into a fight with a guy who grabbed the other half of the guitar and all that shit. But yeah, there were heady times.
We should ask Lita about your question that you feel like guitars are everywhere now.
I feel like guitars were like, if I walked into someone's house when I was a kid and there was an electric guitar, that was a big fucking deal. Now I see them hanging everywhere. I see them being handed out. Every auction I do, something's being signed by Aerosmith and handed out. You go into a program director's office, they're leaning up against the wall. Like they're making
Is it
guitars
just that he's
kind of handing
in
them.
better company now, or are they just handing guitars out everywhere now?
Well, I think there's more everything these days.
Yes.
There's more brands.
What's happening is when we grew up, if you wanted a pinball machine, you had to go to an arcade. And if you wanted a popcorn machine, you had to go to a movie theater. And there's a whole bunch of stuff where it's just specialty stuff that you went to. Now you go to people's houses.
Yes.
And there's guitars leaning against popcorn machines, pushed up against pinball machines. Love that guy.
Yep.
All right. Should we do a little news?
Yeah.
By the way, let's do that. You guys hang out and crack wise.
Right on.
The news with Allison Rosen.
She'll read some news from her iPad. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It's Allison. And when it's time to wrap it up, she'll sign it off with zip it cunt. It's Allison.
So all sorts of news out of Cleveland. 3 women who were missing for about a decade, who were thought dead, have turned up. Amanda Berry is the one who broke free. She got a neighbor's attention. This guy Charles Ramsey, who's now like all over the internet. She got his attention, and he helped her get out of the house. She went to his house and she called 911, and we have some audio of the 911 call.
All right.
Wow.
All right. Let's hear that.
Cleveland 911.
Hello, please. Help me. I'm Amanda Berry.
You need police, fire, or ambulance.
I need police.
Okay, and what's going on there?
I've been kidnapped, and I've been missing for 10 years, and I'm here. I'm free now.
Okay, and what's your address?
2207 Seymour Avenue.
2207 Seymour. Looks like you're calling me from 2210.
Huh?
Looks like you're calling me from 2210.
I can't hear you.
It looks like you were calling me from 2210 Seymour.
Yeah, I'm across the street. I'm using the phone.
Okay, stay there with those neighbors. Talk to the police when they get there.
And then it goes on, and she says, "Are you sending help now?" And he's like, "Talk to the police when they get there." She's like, "Are you sending help now?" And you need to come now before he gets back. Every question takes like 4 tries to nail down. But then they're like, "Who are you hiding from?" And she says his name, Ariel Castro. How old is he? 52. What's he wearing? I don't know. He's gone. What was he wearing when you last saw him? I don't know if she ever answers that question. But they were being held at the house of this guy, Ariel Castro, who was a school bus driver, played in a band, was pretty well known in the community. Everyone around him is very surprised. His son had written an article in a newspaper about the missing girls 10 years.
His son?
Yeah, was a reporter. Years before, couldn't believe it was his father. This Ariel Castro went to vigils for the girls. Helped look for them. Actually said, this is the one that is insane to me. Actually said to someone, like they were digging up a yard trying to find the girls, said to someone, "Oh, you're not, they're not going to find them there." You'd think he would.
That's what you call a tell.
Yes.
In the abduction
and
game.
And here's.
But by the way, I would go to the vigil too, because first off, the arsonist wants to watch the fire, and then number 2, when you're holding the candle that's shoved through the paper plate, there's a lot of, well, I wonder who could have done this.
Right.
Certainly none of us.
Who cares so
certainly,
much
yeah,
to show up at the vigil?
Yes, and there couldn't be anybody here. We need to go look for the person. We need to look for them. They're certainly not in this group.
He was in touch with the victims' fathers. So Amanda Berry, gets loose and says there's more women there. There were 2 other women that he was holding. There was a 6-year-old girl. Ariel Castro said that's my girlfriend's kid, but it's probably the kid of him, Amanda Berry and his daughter.
Yeah.
And now people are wondering what the hell was going on with the cops because neighbors had seen women on leashes in the backyard, told the cops. The cops didn't take it seriously. The cops had visited the house a couple times but never went in. But people saw and heard all sorts of weird stuff going on.
I've said this 250,000 times, right? In the movies, cops do shit. In real life, they sit around and wait for the phone to ring.
Right.
They're all fat and wait for the phone to ring. There's nothing that goes on. And by the way,
certainly not in Cleveland.
Here's what real cop movies should be called: ample time for backup.
Nothing but time for backup.
We have a fortnight for backup.
Time to spare for backup.
We will send in the fucking dogs. We'll send in the robot, and then we'll send in a robotic dog.
Yes.
Before we go in.
Right on.
There's no way I'm getting my fat ass shot. So, or better yet, we'll just shoot up a tundra with Mexican women napping in it. So that's what cops normally do. They're all heroes.
Knock on the front door, knock on the back door, go around and see what's back there.
Or take it seriously when someone says they see women on leashes. It's 3 brothers who were arrested
freaky.
now.
Yeah, well, here's the problem. You mentioned freaky.
Really freaky.
Here we have a problem. Everyone's a fucking nut job. Everyone's a freak show, and we can't judge. So it used to be we had a society where if you saw a guy walking down the street and he wasn't wearing a tie, like if you saw a guy get on an airplane and he wasn't wearing a tie, you're like, what's wrong with that gentleman? Someone needs to investigate him. Now everyone's just letting the freak flag fly, and there's no more fucking judgment going on because you see the guy in the crazy van, you see the guy pumping the crazy music, you see the guy who's wearing the one flip-flop and walking in a circle on the front lawn, and it's like none of your business anymore. He's just doing his own thing. Everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. So in a circus filled with freaks, who can tell who the bearded woman is and the fat guy?
You can't.
You can't anymore. It's like a total freak show.
Yeah.
Like everyone looks like a fucking every guy's covered with like every guy looks like a gangbanger now.
And
like,
they're probably the nicest guys on the block.
Well,
yeah, I'm just saying, like there used to be a thing where you'd go, look at that guy with the fucking goatee and the tattoos, and he's wearing a wife beater and his sweatpants. I keep my eye on that guy. Now that's everyone.
Well, okay, so we have video of Charles Ramsey, who's the neighbor who helped Amanda Berry and from whose house she called, and it's really long. This is the end of it, but he's talking about how this has gone viral. He's talking about how he actually says he's like this guy had giant testicles. That's I think a quote. Testicles is a quote. To be able to pull this off in plain sight,
or be incredibly insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like flying an airplane into a building is giant testicles mixed with fucking nuts. There's a lot of fuck. Let's not forget about the fucking nuts part.
Right.
All right.
So let's play this video.
Because how he is he just comes out to his backyard, plays with the dogs, tinker with his cars and motorcycles, goes back in the house. So he's somebody that you look away because he's not doing nothing but the average stuff. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing exciting about him. Well, until the day.
What was the reaction on the girls' faces? I can't imagine to see the sunlight, to be around people.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms. Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Dead giveaway.
Thank you very much for your time.
Either she homeless or she got problems. That's the only reason why she run to a black man.
Yeah.
Charles,
2013.
Thank you for being there, man. Charles Ramsey, neighbor.
He's giving the thumbs up. Here's why I would make the world's worst journalist, because I'd be the guy on the street going, so what time's she running to their arms? High noon. High noon. Jesus Christ. It's a Monday.
Unbelievable.
You weren't at work, huh? No. You work at night? No. What do you do? I immediately turn it to him. I smell malt liquor, by the way. Has anyone been drinking? Because I'm not been fucking drinking. What are you doing at home all fucking day? All right, let's move past the hero side and let's focus on you. What's going on with the crazy Al Sharpton hair? What's going on here? What's going on with the work? I want to investigate this guy now. I want to know what's up with him. I don't know why he's home. You know what? Some young girl could run into my yard during the day. I wouldn't fucking be there. I'd be paying my taxes. I want him looked into.
You're like a distant cousin of Huell Hauser, 'cause it's like, but these 3 women were being held as sex slaves, and they got free, and this guy helped them.
So it was 10 years of them trying to get out of there?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know how it hasn't. So much has not come out yet. It's not clear how much they were trying to get free, but there was pounding at the windows. I mean, they obviously took the opportunity to get out when they could.
Like I say, the more I've been complaining, okay, I'm the tip of the spear of cops aren't heroes. I mean, some of them are, but the majority of them don't do a bunch of great police work. And now every one of these stories that seems to come out, isn't it just somebody called somebody or somebody broke free or something, or the cops had shot the wrong person, or the cop? I mean, do we have
the result of 10 years of investigative work, you're saying?
I'm saying the guy who they found in Boston, the neighbors found the guy, or the guy with the boat found the guy. You know, the one guy got away, even though they were all like shooting it out in the streets. Just the Dormer thing, somebody he'd abducted, dropped a dime. Isn't everything just sort of boiled down? Isn't all the police work is somebody made a phone call?
Does seem that way, yes.
I mean, not the chicken shit tickets. They're fucking Johnny on the spot with that.
They do a lot of paperwork. What's interesting to me, there's so many things that are interesting to me and upsetting about this, but she obviously knew that people had been looking for her. Like, it seems like she's been paying attention to the news or knows that she's in the news.
I don't feel like they know what to do with this guy in prison. Like, you know,
There's
like
3 of them. It's this guy and it's his 2 brothers as well.
Right, but it's still, they're not sure if the brothers are in.
They arrested them. I don't think anything's clear yet.
All right, so I'm just saying, like, if we're in the joint and we go, look, there's some guys coming in, he's a pedophile.
New fish.
Yeah, all right, we got to fuck that
know
guy
what to do
up.
with them, yeah.
Make short work of him. That guy killed a cop, so I'm going to get him a pack of cigarettes.
Sure, yeah. That guy's a hero.
Okay, this guy abducted 3 chicks,
Yep.
and then he had babies with them. He kept them locked up in their basement. Played ranchero music real loud.
Oh, well, that's kind of the soundtrack to our lives right now.
Yeah. He drove a school bus. No one found out about this for 10 years.
Did he do good things in those 10 years? I mean, he was a pillar of the community.
I just don't know if we should fuck him or beat him up or, like, what he's not.
I said we do both and then sort it out later. Yes?
Yes.
Oh, let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, like, in the yard, what do you do with this guy? Is guy a fucking hero in the yard? Like, how'd you fucking pull this shit off for 10 years?
I know.
Or do we kick your ass with the rest of the pedophiles? Or, like, I'm not sure. Then there's got to be some, like, Stockholm syndrome or something, right?
I mean, you would assume that in those 10 years, they had to have a shot.
Literally a window of opportunity to scurry out. The guy had to drive a school bus.
And yet, it seems like this is her first chance to get out, you know?
It seemed like in the tape she was pretty darn excited to
the
be
windows
getting out.
only had a tiny bit of, a tiny opening.
Yeah.
He had boarded everything up. And I mean, like, this Charles Ramsey had to help her break the screen free.
You know what when I'm in charge, I'm going to have trouble sniffing dogs. And I'm going to send them once a year around everyone's house, like the Census Bureau. And they're just going to go, it's the entry hall. The dog's just going like, if I smell trouble, we're coming back.
Like in Minority Report, those little spiders that just went around and just surveyed the scene.
That's all we need. God, this is a weird story.
Yeah. You'd have to train them, though, to know what's real trouble versus what's not. Because I feel like they come to my house, what's the problem? I can't get this thing to print.
Right. Yeah, no, we definitely work on it. So this will unfold.
Yeah.
And there'll be more. And it'll get weirder and more bizarre.
More upsetting.
And then
Sounds
there'll be
like Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
There'll be something. There'll be something in the story that pisses me off. Like the ACLU will get involved because they'll want partial custody of the child for him in prison or something weird. There'll be some component of this that's going to make me want to fucking freak out at some point.
Of course.
There'll be one component where there'll be like the father's advocacy groups going down and protesting, saying that he should have visiting rights with the son or the daughter they sired.
The fact that people had called the cops to say what was going on there and that the cops didn't do anything, that's not pissing you off?
You know how, first off, the only thing I'm convinced that the cops are good at is taking money from people. I don't think they're good at anything else.
Parking tickets.
Just tickets. Just fucking tickets. That's what there's one thing they're really super good at. Field sobriety, that's the sobriety test and speeding tickets and all that kind of stuff. All the law enforcement part, the part where they serve us to protect and serve, like all that part, I don't feel like they're doing a great job with that. I feel like everything's unsolved until somebody makes a phone call or somebody brags to their cellmate. You know, those murders from 18 years ago, they never cleared. It was me. And then the cellmate drops a dime on. Everything is somebody dropping a dime on somebody else. All right, one more story.
Well, related, Elizabeth Smart, who had been abducted for years, spoke out today, and she said that
Denver, Utah, where was that? Colorado, somewhere?
Yeah.
That the guy came to the house, handyman. Woo! I got to tell you, there's no dicier gig than handyman. If there's anyone you don't want in your house, it's a handyman. Ironically, everybody who comes in your house, the guys who install the alarms, the handyman, the plumber, the guy who snakes out the drains, all fucking, they'll have rap sheets as long as your arm. They're all the worst people on the planet. I've worked with all these people.
So good that we allow them into our homes, no questions asked.
I would say the average guy who installs alarms has a greater criminal history than the average guy, than the average school teacher or garbage man, number one. And the more work that they do in your house, the greater their history, criminal history. I swear to you it's true. They cannot be trusted. So this guy was like a handyman and he abducted her.
Yeah, she was abducted in Utah.
Yeah, and then he just made like a man in the wilderness shack, and they just lived in it.
But these people that do these kind of things are intelligent. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they definitely can evade the law. I mean, they're sort of Ted Kaczynski kind of
They put
nuts
on a fake appearance.
Right. So what about her?
So she said that her abstinence education growing up is part of what kept her like loyal to him, basically, part of what allowed this all to happen. She talked about her upbringing in a Mormon home and her sex education at the hands of a school teacher who emphasized abstinence only. And he compared premarital sex to chewing gum. This is her talking. This is a quote. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm that chewed up piece of gum. Nobody rechews a piece of gum. You throw it away. And her own rape made her feel so dirty and so filthy. She thought that she didn't have value.
So because of her training, she thought that even if the first guy you're with is the guy you have to stay with.
Yeah.
Even if that first guy's just a crazed rapist.
She felt she didn't have any value anymore because he had chewed her gum.
That's why. And by the way,
brainwashed
I fucking wish they threw it away. They throw it away in Tokyo. In L.A., they throw it on the fucking asphalt, and then I step into it in my Adidas, and they fucking sit outside and get rained on. I wish people threw gum away. I have to correct her on that. That's Utah. They have human beings there that throw gum away.
The worst, though, is the 1-2 punch of gum and then something disgusting stuck into the gum on your shoe.
To me, it's the hot day. I swear to God, I was complaining about this. I told you I had a moment where I was eating at a restaurant, at a diner. I walked out to the car. There was like sort of parking attendant guy. He wasn't a valet guy. He was just kind of traffic copping guy. And he said, I think someone tapped your car. And I said, it doesn't look too bad. And he said, I think there's a note on the windshield. And I went, oh, okay, what do we have here? And sure enough, note on the windshield. And it said, here's my name. I hit your car when I was backing out. Here's my driver's license number and my insurance stuff. Here's my cell phone. Call me. Let's discuss repairing your car. And I just went, my God, there's a shred of dignity and humanity left in this universe. I took a half a step backward, and I stepped into fucking gum. And it was 95 degrees on the blacktop. So as soon as I stepped on it, and I'm talking about the old school Run DMC Adidas with the super busy traction on the bottom, lifted the foot up, had the long bridge of the fucking juicy fruit, and I could smell it. It was spearmint, you know, when it's activated and you're smelling someone else's spit.
That's the worst. That's the most offensive.
And the worst part is this is 3 months ago. Yeah. They've been sitting outside my house recently getting rained on. I don't know what to do with them. I literally have to hire somebody to get a dental instrument to get the fucking shit out of there. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
It's worse than the Valdez. Whatever that was, just pales in comparison. It's a super fun project. It really is. I don't know how to get this shit out. I won't bring them in the house. I won't take the hour it's going to take to clean out this person's spit from my fucking tread. So it just sits in a weird no man's land, which is just in front of my front door getting rained on.
How long? See, how have you been living without them? I say just take it all away and get rid of them.
Just chuck them.
I feel like you're never going to wear them again, though.
Goodwill.
But then they win.
Oh, you're right.
But they're like brand new.
No, you got to scrape it out.
And then I have to fucking scrape it out. But then they win again.
I know. They're good shoes, though.
They were.
Let's bring it home.
That's the news. I'm Allison Rosen. Zip it, cunts.
You could chew the gum.
I want to ask people under
Stick them
18.
in the freezer, let it freeze, and then just crack it off with a screwdriver.
And buy a new freezer at that point.
All right, no, I'm with you. I was going the liquid nitrogen route too.
You could take it to your next rock concert and
Throw
hit someone in the head with it.
Throw it at your
while
ex-husband.
it's frozen. Yeah, good idea.
That was the news with Allison Rosen.
Lita Ford, everyone. Living Like a Runaway. Available now on Amazon
We
and iTunes.
did a video for Mother.
The video. So
The
you can
song
see that where?
The
Where do we
song
go?
that we played just a few minutes ago, not Kiss Me Deadly, but before that we played Mother, or you played Mother, and we did a video for Mother, and it starts tomorrow. It's going to post tomorrow on USA Today.
I got that right here.
At 8 a.m. on the West Coast.
I'm going to set my alarm, but I'm going to be in a bad mood. Don't like getting up. All right, our boom. Where's our boom? Give me boom. Yeah, our boom ringtone is available. You just search the Porcelain Punisher for your iPhone.
Boom.
And me and Drew, first 3 shows available on iTunes if you want to check that out. Mark Maron up on stage with us at Amalfi tonight. Yeah. And we'll be doing that show live. All right. And Costa Mesa at Baycrest Liquor on the 16th, 6 p.m., little Mangria tasting. Then we'll do a show at the Irvine Improv that night. And, of course, Napa, California Shiners, May 18th. I'll be doing a little tasting before the show, before the race, and before everything else. So, until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Lita Ford, Mitch Perry, Allison Rosen. Thank you, guys. And Bald Bryan saying, mahalo. Why? Hey, kiddies, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and catch any podcasts you might have missed at youtube.com/Adam Carolla. That's youtube.com/me.